process. And Cam has his birthday. He gets to celebrate his on New Year's Eve. And Cam, you're here. Do you have any big plans?
I know exactly what we'll be doing. We'll be right here at our house, and you know, it doesn't, the plans aren't completely laid yet, but it'll be a good day. Finish this year off, get it done.
Get it done.
Celebrate.
Definitely.
That's not it.
All right. Well,
Don't
good.
know yet.
Well, I hope you all have great birthdays, and we are all very happy your parents chose to have you and raise you right and lead you and help lead you to this Rotary Club. So happy birthday, everybody. So we're going to do Rotarian of the Month. And this month it is Terri. And Terri, I don't know if you want to share screen, but I will stop sharing so you can do what you need to do.
I do. Thank you. I will share my screen.
There you go. It's all yours.
So I've been in Rotary a long time, and I did my craft talks. I've done 2 of them a long time ago. So I'm going to do an updated craft talk. And here we go. I won't read all this to you because I know you can read. I know there will be some people, Stephanie and Romy, applauding that I'm an HSU alum. And the 13 schools before graduating high school was an interesting part of my life. And it did 2 things for me. It gave me a strong desire to settle down. So I did that by moving to Humboldt County in 1974 and staying put, and wanderlust. So pre-COVID, I traveled as often as I could. I'm not sure how I'll put all that together now, but I got to see a lot of the world. My parents were great photographers, and in those days, pre-digital, everything was done on slides. So my brother, about 15 years ago, took the slides and he turned them into JPEGs. So the quality is not great on all of them, but I love this one. We lived in Japan for 2.5 years. We could see Mount Fuji when she chose to show herself from our backyard. And it was a great, great place to be a child. The Japanese love kids, everybody's kids. And we learned a lot in school about Japanese culture. And it colored my taste in fabric and food and other things. This picture makes me laugh. There's the 5 of us kids and my dad. My mom must have been the picture taker. So my little sister here, who was about 3 months old at the time, is holding my brother's 6 gun for some reason. I'm not sure why, but he had a holster that went with it too. That's my dad when he was a lieutenant. He traveled the world, and we followed him sometimes, but I never got to go to Greece. He retired as a captain, but I really like this picture of him because it's his dress whites, and I'm a little prejudiced, but he was remarkably handsome. This is Monterey. I don't know who took the picture, but we're all dressed up for some reason. And it was a fun place to live. I graduated high school there and stayed for 3 more years before I moved to Humboldt County. So tomorrow is 38 years since my brother died at the age of 20. It still makes me cry. It was a firebomb in our life that still kind of lingers. And for those of you who have suffered this kind of loss, you know it never goes away. But we don't get to pick what happens to us, just how we cope with it. So we all soldier on and appreciate what we have now. So I don't know when this picture was taken, but he looks just the same all the time. And he's the most tolerant man in the universe. Everyone knows I introduce him that way. And if they know me, they say, yes, we understand what you're saying, Terri. But he's a goodie. He's had a tough year with 2 surgeries and lots of recovery time, but I'd say he's back at 99%, and he spends most of his time now out in the garage working on his 1924 Model T. So one of these days it'll run again, and we'll see you on the road. I was a Girl Scout for 10 years, and when I discovered Rotary, I realized that I'd kind of been spending a lot of my life practicing to be a Rotarian. I love the service that we do. I love the people I've met. I love the projects we've worked on, and pretty much everything about Rotary makes me happy. I joined this club 14 years ago, almost 15 now, because Janice Newman and Wendy Nelson told me that I really needed to do that. And so I switched clubs, and I've been happy, and I found the club I really belong in. This is my first nephew, Colin. When I met him for the first time, I had driven like a crazy woman to Walnut Creek. He was 10 days old, and his mom walked down the stairs of their house, and she handed him to me. And she said, Colin, this is your Aunt Terri. And he looked into my eyes, and my heart just fell open. And he is a great guy. He's now a dad. He's got an 8-year-old Faye who is a spark of light in the world. Someday when all this is over, I'll bring Faye to a meeting, because she's a determined young woman, and she really is a flashy girl. Everyone in our club would adore Faye, and Colin too. And even though he's a grown up now, I can still get him to sit on my lap. He's kind of shy about it, but I'm like, no, you used to, so come and sit on my lap, and he does. So this is what I do, my avocation, maybe my vocation, although no one pays me to quilt. I just pay for fabric. But this is one of my favorite ones. I made it at a retreat in Williams many years ago. And somebody on Facebook said the pandemic is what quilters have been practicing for our whole lives, because we have stashes and now we have to stay home and sew. I have 4 sewing machines. 2 of them are antiques that I don't use, but the other 2 I do use. So last year we got to take our dream trip to Japan. It was the 3rd time I'd been there, Marty's first time. Everything about it was perfect from the start to the finish. And we are so lucky that we got to go before the world went crazy. And we'll go again when it's less crazy. So this is our oldest son, Westminster. He's 8. He loves to sleep. I swear he smiles in his sleep, but you can kind of tell by the size of him, he also likes to eat. So those are his 2 favorite pastimes. He's a shy boy, except around us. And mostly he's not shy at 3 in the morning when he sits on my stomach and wants to be petted, which of course I do. And this is our youngest, and he's sleeping on my lap in this picture. His white parts sparkle in the dark, they glow. I've had cats my whole life. He's the funniest and maybe the smartest. So that's a little bit about me. Thank you for listening, and have a great Christmas. I'm going to stop sharing now. There we go.
Thank you, Terri. That's really great, because like you said, I mean, we all do our craft talks once, or in your case, 2 clubs twice. But then anyone who comes in after we do doesn't hear that. So it's nice to have our newer members, and even those who have been here longer and know you, get to hear some of that stuff again. So thank you very much. Terri, I'm going to ask you to pick a number, and a number between 1 and 73.
23.
Okay, that is Greg Foster.
Okay.
And so Greg will be our Rotarian of the Month next year. Yes, next year, in January. And so I don't think he's here today, but we will let him know. And I apologize that she picked that number in advance.